This lesson primarily is going to talk about swing plane. It's going to talk about angle of attack. We want to be slightly ascending. I'm going to talk to you about that. Obviously, remember, guys, if your club face is wide open, you don't have permission to do any of this stuff, right? The more you come from the inside, the more shallow your approach, the further right you're going to hit it. So make sure you get that club face in a slightly stronger position. We're not going to delve into club face today. I did a video last week. Go ahead and have a look through the channel. I talk about club face in a lot of my videos, but you know, for those of you that are getting the golf club oriented in the right direction, your club face is good, but you're still struggling, right? You may be coming over the top of it, struggling to get the right launch conditions, maybe not hitting the ball high enough. This is going to be a great video for you because we can start to negate some spin, guys. The more you hit down on a golf ball, the more spin you put on it, the shorter you hit it. All these long hitters are hitting pretty much flat to slightly up on the golf ball. The long drive guys, 5, 6, 7 degrees up. Tour players maybe 1 degree down. The girls LPGA to 1 or 2 degrees up, ascending slightly. So no one's really hitting down on the golf ball, guys, with the driver. If you do that, it's going to be problematic. So first and foremost, why do people hit down? Well, people hit down on the golf ball primarily because they get out in front of the golf ball. Okay, you get your head moving forward, guys. Most amateurs are getting their upper body segment gliding out in front of their lower body segment. Okay, they don't have what we call right side bend. Okay, professional golfers, they get their lower body segment moving out slightly ahead of their upper body segment. That naturally drops the club into a corridor where it's going to lower on its approach. If the club is lowering on its approach, of course, it's going to be ascending through the golf ball. If it's staying up because your upper body's out in front, you're hitting down on it too much. What I'm going to do here, guys, I've got a station set up. I'm going to show you what this looks like. It costs like $5 to set this thing up. Anyone can do this. Very, very straightforward. The cheapest training aid you're ever going to have. And what I've been doing here is hitting some golf balls, because I struggle a little bit with the driver from time to time, hitting down on it. I don't really hit it high enough. What I found is if I can stay behind the golf ball as I transition and then start to use the ground just a little bit more. In other words, I feel like my left shoulder here is working up through the golf ball a little bit. No question, it helps me sling the club out a little bit more. And what I mean by that is, guys, if the upper body is moving up, it helps the hands and arms get out. Okay, if your upper body is moving down and forward, it's invading the space through which your hands and arms are going to swing. If it's invading the space, that golf club is not slinging anywhere. So it's very, very important to kind of use the body. But the way I look at using the body is to stay out of the way of the arms. Okay, if the body in any space here is getting out in front of the arms, it's going to slow the arms down. And we all know now that the arms play an incredibly important role in creating speed in the golf swing, as do the hands. The body we use is a force multiplier. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit one here in my little station. See if I can get the ball up in the air a little bit, and let's see how we get on. Okay, and I'll tell you what I'm feeling. Really happy with that. Okay, now first and foremost, that's way, way higher than I normally hit a golf ball. I'm normally driving the ball forward quite a lot. When I drive the ball forward, I'm not getting enough carry. When I'm not getting enough carry, I'm generally not hitting it close to as far. Now, the only exception, of course, if you're playing brick hard fairways, you can probably get away with getting more roll. But the irony of it is, the higher I hit it, the straighter I hit it, because I'm not getting quite as much spin on the golf ball. Okay, so if I hit it high, I'm getting less spin. If I'm getting less spin, the ball doesn't seem to deviate as much, which is really, really interesting. So what am I feeling there? Here's what I'm feeling. When I get to the top of my backswing, what I'm doing is I'm keeping my back to the target, and I'm almost getting the feeling here that my arms are working out away from me. What I want to do here is create as big an arc as I can to the golf ball, okay? Because I can create a lot more momentum if I do that. So many of you are getting very, very direct on your approach. It's a very short distance from the top of your backswing to the golf ball. And when I talk about short, I'm talking about here, okay? You don't have time to unpack your trail arm. You don't have time really to unpack the golf club. That's why the ball goes out to the right a lot. So when I'm staying behind the golf ball and I start to feel like my arms are working down a little bit like an elevator in a building, because again, your arms create the verticals in the golf swing. I'm getting that club down. I'm getting much lower on its approach. So if it's coming in lower, guys, it's going to be shallower. Okay, so when I put this training aid here and I'm doing this, if I go ahead and get narrow and pinched, of course I'm going to come down and smash into this training aid. If I get wide, keep my back to the target, you can see my arms working down so much lower into this delivery position. As long as I stay behind the golf ball, I can start to swing a little bit more up on it. And that's what this second tube is in front of the golf ball here. I want my golf club swinging up past this, not down and into it. Okay, so when I'm setting this up, all I've got here, guys, is one tube. Okay, I've got my alignment rod underneath. I'm pretty much putting this right down my target line, just like this. Okay, I'm going to have the golf ball sit slightly inside of that and pretty much have it right at the end over here, just like this. I'll go ahead and move this a little bit more. And then the one in front, I've got two grip lengths in front from the center of the ball to the center of the noodle. Okay, so I can go ahead and just go 1, 2, and that's where I want it. So the objective here is very simply to set up in the station, swing inside of this, and swing above that. Okay, so we're going inside, and then we're going up. Most of you are going to go outside. You're going to run into this, and then you're going to have that club working down into the tube that's way out in front. So let's create as much width as we can. I think a lot about my trail arm. Try and get my right arm working away from me as much as I can. Keep my upper body back. Don't transition spin, guys. Don't get your upper body moving forward. The glide phase in the golf swing, there is a little bit of a glide phase. Let's get lateral a little bit, okay? Notice my head isn't moving way out in front of the golf ball though, okay? So if I get a little bit of a bump here with my lower body, you can see that naturally tilts my upper body back, allows my arms to work down, allows the club to work up, okay? Very, very different. Let's go ahead and hit one more. Right on the inside here. Let's give this a rip. I can't hit it better than that. Oh, that's a lot of fun. But goodness, that is so much higher. Even for me, that golf ball's going a lot higher, but it's not falling out of the sky, guys. It's just kind of sailing out there, carrying probably 10, 15 yards further than I'm used to seeing, which is a heck of a lot of fun. I'm going to go ahead and show you just a slightly different angle, okay? All right, so same thing, different angle. Pretty good visual here. You can see how I've got this whole thing set up. A couple of grips out in front. Got the noodle here, got a couple balls here to just kind of keep things in place in case we get any wind. I've got my noodle set up right behind the golf ball, pointing in the direction of my target. Got the ball kind of right at the end here, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and set up to it. If I lift it all in the backswing, if I start picking the club up, I'm crashing right into this thing. If I get out in front of it, get my upper body out in front of my lower body, which so many of you are struggling with, of course, I'm going to go ahead and crash into it. And again, even if I'm on a decent corridor here, if I start to drive myself forward too much, I'm going to, of course, go ahead and hit the second noodle, which is a problem. We want that golf club, guys, swinging up past the noodle. I'm going to give you one more visual. Hang in there for a second. All right, we're going to use this. Put this here just to kind of show you, okay? Put the golf club right on the 2x4. I'm just going to allow that golf club to work sort of up the 2x4 here, okay? That's what I want. So you can see my head staying behind the golf ball. What I want to do here, guys, obviously if I start to lean into it too much, you can see my lead leg looks like a spaghetti noodle. I'm not using the ground particularly well. See this all the time. And then, of course, I'm driving forward too much. I'm going to be descending too much. So what I like to feel is I like to feel like my upper body is, in, if you like, pulling away from my lead foot. I don't want to feel like my upper body's moving in towards my left foot too much. I want to feel like it's kind of pulling away. Lead knee and start to kick the ground a little bit. Left side's just going to feel that much longer. What I don't want to do is compress my lead side and get too narrow, okay? So that's the feeling we want. It's going to look like this, okay? Feel my arms swinging freely. None of this stuff here. All right, so now I've got some freedom. You can see here I'm using the ground. I'm starting to swing up slightly on the golf ball. Let's get this out of here, give it a shot. Can't hit it better. That was great. Hopefully that visual is making a lot of sense. Okay, don't hit down on your driver, hit up on the driver. Use your lead leg, okay, to stabilize your motion, to get you more extended through the golf ball. Okay, we don't want to be collapsing as we hit a driver. We want to be hitting up on the golf ball. We can't have your upper body collapsing as you hit it. Make sure you don't transition spin. So if you get your upper body turning too early, you're going to get too steep. So I love to feel like my upper body stays back. Create some width, guys, as you start your downswing. I can't tell you how wide that circle feels as I approach the golf ball. A lot more time, okay? I'm not getting narrow and direct. I'm getting nice and wide. Get after it. Set up this station. Hit some drivers. If you think this can help, go ahead and share the video. Thanks so much for subscribing. We'll see you next time.